Once upon a time, a young man named David was in a small village. David lived a simple life. He was a kind and hard-working boy, loved by everyone in the village. But deep inside, David felt very lonely. He had no family, and his days were spent working in the fields. His only friend was an old dog named Max, who followed him everywhere. David dreamed of a better life, but he didn't know how to achieve it. He often sat by the river, looking at the sky, wondering if his life would ever change. David wanted to find someone to love, someone who would love him back, but he felt that his dreams were too big for a poor boy like him. One day, while David was walking home from the fields, he saw a girl sitting by the river. She was beautiful, with long black hair and big brown eyes. David had never seen her before. The girl looked sad, and tears were rolling down her cheeks. David felt a strong urge to talk to her. He walked over and sat down beside her. "Are you okay?" David asked gently. The girl looked up, surprised by his kindness. "I'm lost," she said softly. "I don't know where to go." David's heart ached for her. "What's your name?" he asked. "My name is Lily," she replied. "I came here to escape, but now I don't know what to do." David didn't ask her more questions. He knew that sometimes people didn't want to talk about their pain. He just sat with her, offering silent comfort. Over the next few weeks, David and Lily became close friends. David helped Lily with her work, and Lily cooked meals for them both. They laughed together and shared stories, and slowly David started to fall in love with Lily. But he kept his feelings hidden, afraid that Lily did not feel the same way. Lily, too, felt a deep connection with David. She admired his kindness and the way he always put others before himself. But Lily was hiding a secret so dark that she feared it would destroy their friendship. One evening, as the sun was setting, Lily and David sat by the river. The air was filled with the soft sounds of the night. David noticed that Lily seemed distant, lost in thought. "Lily, is something bothering you?" David asked, worried. Lily looked at David, her eyes filled with sadness. She knew she couldn't hide the truth any longer. "David, there's something you should know," she said, her voice trembling. David's heart began to race. He had never seen Lily so serious. "What is it, Lily?" he asked gently. Lily took a deep breath. "I'm running away from my past," she began. "I had to leave everything behind because I did something terrible." David's heart sank. He couldn't believe what he was hearing. "What do you mean?" he asked, his voice barely a whisper. Lily looked away, tears streaming down her face. "I was married, David. My husband was a cruel man. He hurt me, and one night, in self-defense, I killed him." David felt as if the ground had been pulled out from under him. He couldn't believe that sweet, gentle Lily could have done such a thing. But as he looked into her tearful eyes, he knew she was telling the truth. David was torn. He loved Lily, but the truth was too much to bear. He needed time to think. For days, David avoided Lily, lost in his thoughts. He wanted to help her, but he was scared. What if the authorities found out? What if they took Lily away? Lily noticed the change in David. She knew she had lost him. Her heart broke, and she felt more alone than ever. She decided to leave the village to save David from the trouble her presence could cause. One night while David was asleep, Lily packed her things and left a letter for him. She didn't want to say goodbye in person because it would be too painful. When David woke up the next morning and found Lily's letter, his heart shattered. She was gone, and he didn't even get to say goodbye. The letter explained everything: how she didn't want to be a burden to him, how she loved him too much to ruin his life. David realized that he couldn't live without Lily. He didn't care about her past. He only cared about her. He knew that he had to find her, no matter what it took. David set out on a journey, searching for Lily in every town and village. He asked people if they had seen her, showing them a small picture he had drawn of her. Days turned into weeks and David grew weary, but he didn't give up. One rainy evening, as David was walking through a dark forest, he heard a soft cry. He followed the sound and found a small hut hidden among the trees. Inside, he saw Lily sitting by a small fire, looking more fragile than ever. "Lily!" David cried out, rushing to her. Lily looked up, shocked to see him. "David, how did you find me?" she asked, tears filling her eyes. David knelt beside her, taking her hands in his. "I couldn't live without you, Lily. I don't care about your past. I love you and I want to be with you no matter what." Lily sobbed, overwhelmed by his words. "But David, I'm not good for you. You deserve someone better, someone without such a terrible past." David shook his head. "You're wrong, Lily. You are the one I want. We'll face everything together." David and Lily decided to start a new life together, far away from the village in the past. They moved to a quiet town where nobody knew them, and for a while they were happy. But the shadows of Lily's past continued to haunt her. She feared that one day the truth would catch up with them. One day David came home to find Lily missing. She had left a note explaining that she couldn't continue to live with the fear and guilt. She had decided to turn herself in to the authorities to pay for what she had done. David's world collapsed. He knew that Lily was doing this out of love for him, but he couldn't let her go. He rushed to the nearest town, where he found Lily at the police station. "Lily, no!" David cried, running to her. "You don't have to do this." Lily turned to him, tears streaming down her face. "David, I can't keep running. I have to face the consequences. I love you too much to drag you into this any longer." David held her tightly, not wanting to let go. "I'll wait for you, Lily. No matter how long it takes, I'll wait for you." Lily was taken into custody, and David was left alone, waiting for the day they could be together again. Years passed, and David visited Lily whenever he could. Their love never faded. It grew stronger with every letter and every visit. Finally, after many long years, Lily was released. She had paid for her past, and now she was free to live the life she had always dreamed of. David was there waiting for her, just as he had promised. They returned to the small village where they had first met, where they could finally live in peace. Their love had endured the darkest of times, and now they could start again. David and Lily built a home together, and though they had both suffered, they knew that their love was strong enough to overcome anything. They spent the rest of their days together, knowing that their love had conquered all. Years went by, and David and Lily grew old together. Their love story was known throughout the village as a tale of enduring love, sacrifice, and redemption. But as time passed, they both knew that their time on earth was coming to an end. One cold winter night, David fell ill. Lily stayed by his side, holding his hand, just as he had held hers so many years ago. David knew that his time had come, but he wasn't afraid. He had lived a full life, filled with love. "Lily," David whispered, his voice weak, "thank you for loving me, for giving me a life worth living." Lily's tears fell on his hand as she kissed it gently. "I love you, David. Always." With one last breath, David closed his eyes, a peaceful smile on his face. Lily stayed with him until the very end, knowing that their love would continue even beyond this life. Lily lived on, holding David's memory close to her heart. She knew that one day they would be together again, and until then, she would live with the love they had shared. And so, the story of David and Lily became a legend, a tale of love that endured through the darkest of times, a love that was stronger than anything else in the world.